Okay, so she wants to talk about how we met. So basically,
I don't know. Do you want to?
Alright, we'll talk about our first date. So basically, we went to Paradigm. It's this little
Place in Sheboygan. If you haven't been there, you probably should because
we shouldn't give away where we live.
It's
this little place in this town, this area. It's a quirky coffee shop.
This sucks.
With you suck. With it has bikes.
It does have bikes. They actually have auctions that they sell. No, they have auctions underneath Paradigm where they sell bikes.
There's an underneath Paradigm.
Yeah, there's
an underground coffee business.
There's a whole world underneath what happens at Paradigm. Yeah, they sell bikes there. I feel that a celebrity was there recently, actually.
There was. I saw pictures of it on Facebook. We're off topic.
No, we're talking about Paradigm. It was our first date. Who was there? Because nobody comes to Sheboygan.
On our first date or the famous person?
No, the famous person.
I don't remember who the famous person was. I didn't know who they were, personally.
They're in National Treasure, and they play in the New Normal too. I can't remember.
Okay. Anyway.
No, I want to look this up.
No.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, you're so ridiculous. Oh.
It's Justin Bartha.
Yeah, she had to Google that shit.
I did, and Google provided me with the answer that I needed. So, if you go to Paradigm, there's a possibility that you could meet someone famous. And yeah, not really. That never happens. That's a very rare occasion.
That was a one-time thing.
He was there. He had coffee, and he took a picture with my friend Marin. True story.
She's cool. So, anyway, we went
I wasn't there because I was in Orlando at the time. See, I always seem to miss the famous people when they're in town. And when I went to oh my god, I'm stammering. I went to Orlando because I did this Disney college program. And while I was there, Ellen DeGeneres came to Milwaukee, and I missed her. And then when I came back to Milwaukee, Ellen DeGeneres, of course, is in Florida. So we were at Paradigm.
Yes.
And it was, oh my god, okay, and then while we're at Paradigm, like, people that I go to church with, they just were, like, lurking everywhere.
Oh my gosh, all of our dates, all of our first dates had this creepy Christian feature? Theme? Christian theme. Christian theme.
You wouldn't think the wine's getting too We've actually
okay, let's go back to the first. Let's go back to the.
Can we just start this over?
No, let's go back to the first date because I'm getting off track. This is the most pointless. Okay, so basically, I'm sitting in there. I think I was there first. I was like awkwardly waiting for you.
I'm kind of late for everything always.
She is. It's annoying. And so I see her like walk through the front door, and I'm like,
Pentecostal. We're late for a lot of things.
And she comes in and she's like, wow, you're fucking hot.
No, that's not what happened at all.
And she was just swept away
by here's
how
really what happened.
Amazing I was.
Kayla was sitting there on the couch, and she obviously hadn't ordered anything yet because she was waiting for me. And I get there, and I'm just like, oh, hey, Kayla, and she's like, Erika, and then we sit down and we start talking, and all of a sudden, my grandma Ellen, which is this lady that goes to the church that I used to go to, I no longer go there, that's a whole other issue, but, she was there, and she walks up to us, and she's like, Erika, and I'm like, Grandma Ellen! Hey! And,
awkward.
It was awkward. I didn't obviously tell her I was on a date at the time, but she invited both of us over to play chess with her and her husband. And if I knew how to play chess, I would have maybe taken her up on that, but I don't. So.
And when we did order, the lady at the counter like mysteriously knew that we were lesbians, and she was like, "Oh."
That's because Paradigm has a great lesbian environment.
Yeah, because like Erika offered to pay for my drink, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And she was like, "Oh, lots of couples do this," and I was like, "Couples? How do you? What are you? I see you." And and I remember Erika was asking me a bunch of questions like, "What's your favorite Disney movie?"
Disney is an important aspect
and I was
of my
like,
life.
"This is a cool chick."
I remember the first time I went to her dorm room. This is when she went to college in the general Sheboygan County. area, but I went to her dorm room, and her roommate at the time had these pink Disney princess comforters.
No, it was a big like Disney fleece. It had Disney princesses on it.
Well,
and
either
a
way,
huge
it was
Disney
awesome.
poster, and yeah, she's a child, and so am I.
We're all kind of children.
Okay.
Anyways, after we had gotten our coffee, most of our dates have taken place in the winter. Well, yeah.
We are the biggest ramblers.
Okay, because we broke up, like we weren't really together during the summer.
It's true. It's true.
But then we got back together.
Yeah, because I got scared and I ran away.
But then she came running back, and she
I ran
was
back
like,
like
"Babe, take me." And I was like, "I guess."
I was not over dramatic.
She was like, "I can't live without you. I need you. You are the air I breathe."
I never said that. Okay, so our second date, right?
She's saying it to me.
Shut up. So we go to this skating rink in the town where we resided, and there are these skating nuns in the rink.
And more kids from the church,
yes.
A different church that I used to go to.
I kid you not. Christians follow us, and they give us the evil eye. Just picture this, skating nuns following behind you when you're on your first date, just staring at you like, you lesbians. And then she
This is where I actually gave Kayla her first kiss.
She pushed me up against the wall, and she was like, "Can I kiss you?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then out of the corner of my eye, I see the nuns skating by, and I'm like.
And then I don't know if this was the same day, but we went. Was it the same day as the Jesus cab driver?
Yes, it was the same day because it took us back to Lakeland, didn't it?
There was a Jesus cab driver, and we get into the cab, and he starts talking about the spiritual thing in his life, and like how his wife died, and how we needed to find us a good man to get married to, and
he was just asking us if we had boyfriends, and he was talking about his wife, and he was just talking about Jesus, Jesus this, Jesus that, Jesus.
If you are a resident of the Sheboygan area, you've probably had this dude.
Okay, there you go again, telling him where we live.
What I'm talking about.
And oh my gosh,
like 5 seconds ago.
Nobody knows where that is except for now they know Lakeland and Sheboygan, and they're gonna come kill us. But
nobody's gonna come kill us.
But basically, Christians they follow us.
They do.
They're trying to change us into heterosexuals.
I wouldn't necessarily go that far. Where we live. It's like a very
but where we live.
Where we live. It's kind of conservative in nature, so
kind of.
It's very conservative in nature. So like when people see lesbians on the street, they're like, "Honey, look, lesbians."
It is. Yes, seriously. Okay, even here, like at the big college that we go to, we were watching this movie. And when we came out, we ended up sitting next to the lesbians because for some reason we always end up in the same vicinity as the group of lesbians in our dorms. And when we went to the convenience store in our dorm, the group of lesbians was standing outside, and I was waiting for her to come out because I had already bought my shit. And they were like, "Oh my god, that's her! That's one of them! That's the lesbian!" You're just like a monkey in a zoo. Like people see you and they're like, "That's a lesbian! Did you see? That's the lesbian!" It's weird.
But I feel also that lesbians have this innate sense to want to identify one another, and so when a lesbian does it to a fellow lesbian, it's not.
That's acceptable.
It's not that big of a deal. But when like a heterosexual person does it and they're judging you because of it, it's totally a different
story. Or not even
story.
judging, just staring like, "You just kiss her."
It's complicated.
Okay, so going back to the first time that she stayed at my dorm, like after our second date with the skating nuns, okay?
That was a dramatic night too because we went to this party at one of her friends' houses.
Okay, no, this is where we get off track.
And shit was going crazy.
So after the date with the skating nuns, we went back to the dorm, and the next morning, my parents randomly show up at the dorm, and that's part of the things that freaked me out because we were laying in bed together, and all of a sudden my parents show up at the dorm, and I'm like, "Oh my god, thanks for the warning." Freak out, and I was like, "This is my friend."
Yeah, it was a little bit awkward and uncomfortable, but I mean, now that she is out about it, I guess, and her parents are totally.
I don't give a fuck.
Her parents are totally understanding as opposed to
her parents who think I am evil. So
Well, I wouldn't necessarily
your parents
say that
hate me.
I wouldn't necessarily
They
say
hate
that
me.
they think you're evil. It's just
They
don't
call
like
me
that.
her friend.
They do.
Her mom looks at me like you are corrupting.
They think
child.
that it's a choice, but it's not, and they want me to be straight. I guess I don't know.
That ain't happening. She loves me. She thinks I'm sexy.
I do. Yeah. Her family's really cool about it.
They are. Well, my immediate family. Anyway.
She was chicken shit to come out. She was like, "Oh my god!" She was chicken shit. And I was out already at the time.
Yeah, but your parents didn't accept it.
And my parents hated it, and I was just like, "Well, it's who I am." Tough shit. I love my family, even though they don't accept me.
Alright.
Alright, that's all we really have to say, so we love
Bye!
you. Bye! Gorgeous. Okay, I don't want you to What are you doing?
Nothing. Yeah, you know.
So I just touched my leg, and I bought these $2 shavers, and don't ever buy $2 shavers because
TMI.
They will cause self-mutilation. And you want to see this? It's pretty nasty.
So it's ew! I touched it. I touched TMI.
Here, you see that?
This is not appropriate. TMI. So basically, we get off track. Like this is just like a big blur, like of stories.